Hello everyone, and welcome to our channel dedicated to book summaries of the most popular titles. In this video, you will find a summary of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, originally, Les 7 habitudes de ceux qui réalisent tout, qu'ils, entreprennent, presents a valuable and useful manual for the personal and professional development of anyone. In this work, Stephen Covey outlines 7 habits, divided into 4 parts, to change the reader's mindset through step-by-step self-discipline and personal improvement. The book has sold over 20 million copies and has been translated into 38 languages. It's Covey's most famous work and, according to Chief Executive magazine, it was voted the most influential book of the 20th century. Overview, Habit 1, Be proactive. After all, what is a proactive person? According to Stephen Covey, a person driven by values and capable of making their own decisions in different scenarios can be considered proactive. These individuals share well-developed characteristics like self-awareness, imagination, and free will. When you develop these characteristics, you become much more resilient to whatever you encounter. This means you're less shaken by the scenario you find yourself in, as only you can create a new scenario from the present moment, by empowering yourself. According to the author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of the most effective ways to be proactive is through imagination and affirmation. It's true. You should stop being a reactive person who only lives in complaints and doesn't take responsibility, preferring to blame others. Of course, complaining about everything is much easier than taking action, but it doesn't solve anyone's problems. Therefore, we must be proactive and work hard to focus on possible things that we have control over. This way, we shape ourselves, gaining the ability to do more, expressing commitment, before ourselves internally, to more people. Overview, Habit 2, Begin with the end in mind. Many people spend a large part of their lives doing things without interest and not seeking the right goal. This makes your desires mere dreams. According to The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, to change this, you need to reach the goal and reach the right goal, otherwise, it's meaningless. Have you ever wondered what you would like people to say about you at your funeral? Stephen Covey discusses this question a lot in this chapter as he seeks to analyze what our true purpose is. For him, we must develop personal leadership because it allows us to better understand our true goals. In addition, Stephen suggests that we do the planning and only then the actions. A good piece of advice is always to visualize the result before the action. To assist you in this task, here are some tips from The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Define your personal mission. It should contain your values, goals, and principles. Imagine and visualize the result before executing. Memorize your goal as it is essential because every day you must wake up to do something that will help you achieve it. Write down your goal and make a commitment to yourself. Overview, Habit 3, Put first things first. Time is a scarce resource, so we must manage it as best we can. Therefore, you must be responsible for steering your ship toward your goal, clearly defining what the important priorities are. According to The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, a common mistake is saying yes to everything and everyone. This ends up either bringing you closer or farther away from your goal. So learn to say no when you need to, that is, when something doesn't contribute to your ultimate desire. Remember that being busy doesn't mean being productive. Author Stephen Covey clarifies that being productive and effective means doing things that bring us closer to our ultimate goals, and that align with our mission. Overview, Habit 4, Think win-win. If we stop to think, we realize that most relationships or even negotiations we witness or engage in always end with 2 dissatisfied people, or just one winner. It's very rare to see both parties satisfied, and that's one of the characteristics of highly effective people. After all, an effective person doesn't see a relationship as a competition. Stephen Covey advises keeping in mind that this action only brings benefits to both parties, and you can establish strong allies for the future. Overview, Habit 5, Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Author Stephen Covey presents a very true scenario of our times, because every passing day, most people want to learn to speak well in public and communicate effectively. But it's useless to be a good transmitter if few people have the ability to hear and understand what the other person has to say. In most cases, we listen to respond, not to understand. So try listening first and then speaking. And, according to the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, it's much more than just hearing. You must listen empathetically, being able to fully understand what they need and why. Thus, by understanding both sides, you can help each other, create a win-win relationship, and define goals. Overview, Habit 6, Synergize. Do you know the true meaning of synergy? It can be understood when the result of the union of two parties is greater than the sum of those separate parts. A good example given by Stephen Covey in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is that of creative cooperation, which allows the differences between people to generate new results. In this way, teamwork means your weaknesses are filled by your teammates' strengths, their power is multiplied, and thus, we get a good result by combining the best parts. So treat people with understanding and respect. After all, they have different strengths and weaknesses. Overview, Habit 7, Sharpen the saw. In this final step, author Stephen Covey shows how much attention we must pay to our habits. To better understand, Stephen tells the story of a man sawing a log. The work was progressing slowly, and the more he worked, the less he cut. Then someone suggested he take a break to sharpen the saw, but he replied that he was too busy and couldn't do it. In fact, this happens all the time with our tools. Therefore, we must be able to see when the time has come to stop and refine our habits. Many think the secret lies in overwork, but the secret is that you must work smart and better. To refine your habits and get the best results, here are 4 key areas to focus on, according to the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Physical, exercise regularly, at least 30 minutes a day, and have a balanced and appropriate diet. Spiritual, prayer, meditation, and listening to music are also suitable times for reviewing your values. Mental, engage in activities like reading, writing, and planning. Social or emotional, it's essential to show empathy, listen, and think win-win. These are small things you can do in your daily life, and the results are certain in the long run. So dedicate at least an hour a day to these 4 areas. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like this video, if you enjoyed it.